Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcore Guides bringing you my guide for The Last of Us on Survivor difficulty. And today's episode we're doing Chapter 8, which is entitled University. And try not to get this one mixed up with the hospital one because I seem to get that kind of mixed up a bit. Because there's a part where you go into like a lab and kind of reminds me of a part that comes up later. But I think this is actually technically the only part that actually has technically that lab, so... I came back here to look for like any supplies and I couldn't find anything, so I found a comic book and that's pretty much about it. In all honesty, I could have probably fast forwarded this, but I decided not to. I decided just to leave it in. I left most of this in because there's not a lot of horseback riding in this part exactly. I mean, you have the horse just, you know, so you can travel around a little bit easier, but you don't really use it as much in this chapter per se, so there's actually some pills on the other side of this building. It's on the left side of the building. I'm gonna go over there right about now, and there shouldn't be any supplies back here, but I checked anyway just to be on the safe side. I checked for pills, I checked for parts. That's pretty much what I have in mind is, you know, sometimes they might leave parts or pills around there, and who knows when, you know, who knows what and who knows where. So anyway, I'm kind of excited because I just finally got done doing Uncharted. I was actually doing a Let's Play that on my main channel, and I can finally actually start doing these more often too. Well, actually, it'd be like 2 episodes for 1 week, and then maybe like 1 episode for the next week, and then after that, it'd be like 2 episodes. I just want to let people know that.
Okay.
But
Some of these buildings look like
I'm not gonna make I'm gonna make an update video for my main channel, but I'm not gonna make one for this channel to lead into my main channel because I kind of don't want to intertwine this channel with that channel very much. I just want to let people know that I have another channel, which is this, and I feel as if the people who are watching these videos are at least smart enough. No offense to my subscribers on like my main channel, but if you're watching, I just feel like the subscribers I already have now are probably like, we're here for hardcore and now we're here for guides and stuff. We don't care for Let's Plays. And for people who, you know, like my Let's Play main channel, are probably on the side of like, well, a guide's a guide. It's technically like a Let's Play. I can go watch that too and be fine. Let me move up my mic real quick. Hopefully that didn't pick up too much noise. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say that there's going to be some background noise. I really wanted to record as early as I could, but then I decided, you know, I got time to spend when I woke up. I woke up at like 7. I'm like, I got some time to spare, so I'm just going to go ahead and get Uncharted 2 Episode 20 up, which is actually uploading right now and should be done anytime soon, so I might get out of my chair and go click on that video just to get out of the way so I can kind of lower the processor so the computer over there doesn't explode, because that's what it's starting to sound like. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and upgrade our stuff. I think I get the reload speed, yes, for my El Diablo, and then from there I get like reload speed for my hunting rifles. Not bad. There's a lot of parts in this place too, so all this building is for is just for supplies. You're not going to have any fights till you get to the lab part of the university. Hang on real quick, guys. Hang on a second real quick, guys. I need to get up and check. I'm going to publish it, just let it be done. There we go. Okay, so hopefully that will actually lower the yeah, it's starting to kind of go down a little bit, so... Got that out of the way, thankfully. I don't know why, but like Sony Vegas takes up a lot of processing when it's like doing this video, or it's doing the preview video. I don't know why. So hopefully the fan will kind of lower down a little bit. It's starting to, thank goodness. Okay, so I went over here and I picked up a bottle. I was basically looking for parts. This whole first part is just me running around looking for supplies. There's really no enemies. Not until you get to a certain set. Actually, there's actually infected. I forgot about that too. I keep thinking about the goons, but there's actually infected as well. Well, technically they're not goons because they're not really working for anybody. They're just here looking for... There's scavengers and hunters and just like that, you know.
Sure.
I don't really think there's really a military part in this game. At least I don't think there is. There's Fireflies, but
Sounds like
they're not really a part of like a military faction. They're just a rebel faction themselves, trying to save humanity, where Joel is just kind of a sort of anti-hero, in a sense.
Jerry-rigged this thing.
But yeah, this actually, I was wrong. We're not going to actually fight enemies in the lab part first. There's actually infected. I
get the power back
completely neglected, and I forgot about those guys being here, so. Good thing is, they give us a flamethrower. So that's a new long gun. That should be the last long gun we're going to get, except for the assault rifle, but this is the last upgradable long weapon we're going to get. When they say long gun, they mean, like, not your sidearm. They mean, like, rifles and stuff. That's just Night Owl lingo, basically. I don't really know if it's technically Night Owl lingo or not. So I looked in there to see if there's any infected I could probably still just get out of the way, but one of them saw me, so I threw a bottle and then just use the flamethrower they give you, because the flamethrower works the best on infected. Because infected like to attack in groups, whereas your basic hunters don't. They just... No, hunters attack in groups, but they don't attack together at the same time. They usually not more than 2 or 3 never really attack you at the same time, because they're not that stupid. They like to run and hide and take cover, where the infected, on the other hand, just like to run up to you and try to hit you and kill you that way. So the flamethrower is definitely best for groups. And of course, Molotovs and bloaters, so guess what that means? Yeah, that's right. Flamethrower on bloaters is a nice mix. Because when you burn somebody, you do fire damage, and like, they burn over time, so in a sense of that, it saves you the trouble. And while bloaters burn to death, they can't really hit you. Well, I mean, they can if you run up and try to hit them, they'll kill you, but they won't really focus on you. They're too busy trying to get the fire off them. Kind of like with bees in Bioshock, you know? Or, I think they were hornets. Yeah, they were hornets, I think. And so I still got plenty of usage for my machete. I still got like 2 slots left to use. Thank goodness. I think I'm going to go ahead and use them on a few other... I don't remember who I used them on. I think I used them on a few of the hunters. I'm going to start calling them hunters from now on, because that just makes more sense to me.
What about you?
But yeah, after this video, I'm going to go ahead and whip out an update video from my main channel to get people from my main channel to come see my new channel. You can say, like, yeah, that's a bad idea because you're basically separating your audience. I mean,
Come on,
I'm giving them...
I don't think so.
I'm just letting people know that I have another channel that they can go check out. And, they don't have to check it out, of course. But, this channel is mainly just for guide videos. Mainly just for hard runs. That's all it's really for. Where my main channel is for top 10s, reviews, let's plays, all kinds of different crap. All that crap is just, well, you could technically consider that separating my audience, because some people might have watched me, which a lot of people do watch my top 10s. Well, not a lot, but like, I've had views, and I've had people watch my top 10s and stuff, and not really reviews. I've only done like 1, so I kind of stopped doing that for a little bit. Well, anyway, people, watch those, and they never really subscribed, but it's probably because I just mainly do Let's Plays. They probably just got tired of just saying just Let's Plays. They want to see other stuff besides just that, which I can kind of understand. The thing with me is, like, I wanted to make a, like, top 10 review channel, but then I decided not to. I felt like this would be a better option. Even though hard guides don't actually get... There's not really, like, a big community for people who like to watch guides, so... there's not a lot of people who like to play games on the hardest difficulty either, so, that community's kind of small, and not everybody really needs help with a lot of these games, especially this one that's Survivor mode. This one's just, I wouldn't say it's a breeze, I'd just say it's just more of kind of easier than the rest, especially easier than Uncharted, like Crushing. But, well, okay, maybe a little bit harder because
Let's try that gate.
in this game you have to focus on a lot of melee and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's subjective. Whatever you think is harder is your opinion. And I just find Uncharted a little bit more difficult because you're constantly being swarmed by enemies anyway. And in this game, you're not really always being swarmed by enemies. And you have to use strategy to kind of fight back. And, well, not really strategy, but you have to be kind of smart and stealthy sometimes. I keep throwing that word around, smart. It's just like, you know, I think I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not. So anyway, this next building, we're actually going to get stuck with some clickers. That's actually going to be down in the lower section of this building, the basement area. And actually, this is a dorm. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. We're in a university. This should be technically a dorm, I think. Well, anyway, in the lower part of this building, there's a crowd of clickers and a bloater. I chose not to fight. I chose stealth because the drop rate for like infected seems kind of ridiculous anyway. So I just said no. I don't want to go fight infected because what's going to save me the trouble? If it's normal infected, fine. If it's clickers, no. If it's bloaters actually tend to drop stuff, but the problem is I didn't kill off all the clickers to kill off the bloater. So, yeah, I'm like, I don't want to fight all the clickers so I can fight one bloater with a Molotov and kill him and get a shrapnel grenade or shotgun ammo or something, which I can probably just get later on. So, this might be a little bit, you know, cringing for some people. They're probably like, oh god, is he actually going to get attacked? And to be honest, this is what makes Last of Us so much fun, is when, yeah, I did do a stealth kill on it. I had 2 shivs. I'm like, I'm just going to break one in. I had, you know, 1 more hit left, and when you have 1 more hit on a shiv, you can't open a door with that last little bit. You have to have a full shiv to open a door, so I just, you know, used the rest on him and got him out of the way, because, you know, he's technically in the way. For some reason, this little bastard wouldn't go anywhere. He just stood there right in place. I threw the bottle in the next room, and the clicker just sitting there acting like nothing really happened. So I just whipped out the good old bow and got a headshot. They actually do give you bow ammo in this area, so if you don't have any arrows on you now, you can go ahead and pick some up in a minute. Sometimes, well, I mean, I don't know drop rates for, like, you know, ammo and stuff from infected. I just figure that infected don't drop as much. You know, it makes sense to me, but who really knows? And I just don't feel like wasting all my bullets taking out like a whole horde of clickers and probably getting nothing out of return. So usually on parts like this, where it's just like a full crowd of clickers, I'm just going to go ahead and walk on by because I don't really care. I'm trying to think. If I throw a Molotov at that bloater and kill him, well, then again, it wouldn't kill him in 1 hit, so never mind. I was thinking, like, if I throw the Molotov, would the clickers hear it? But then I'm thinking, like, probably. They'd probably hear it, but they probably wouldn't hear where I'm at, so. Which is something I love about Last of Us versus Uncharted, is, like, when you get caught in this game, you can easily go back into stealth, and then, you know, you'd be fine. But when you play Uncharted, it's like, as soon as you get caught, they know where you're at almost all the time, and it's kind of stupid, but I don't really care. This part's actually pretty interesting, because when I first played this game, I did kill the bloater. And then when I was playing Grounded mode, or one of these harder difficulties, I did the same thing, where I just snuck past all the clickers and stuff. And I actually saw that bloater at the door for the first time. It kind of made me jump. I'm like, wow, this is not technically a horror game. It acts like it, but it's not really, to me. It's not. It's almost like Dead Space, but it's not really scary, but you know it's a horror game. Well, it's a horror game to some, but not all. Which, by not all, I mean me. Anyway, the reason why I was holding down that bottle, or while I was aiming with the bottle, is because there's a little trick you can do where, when you walk past clickers, you have to walk slowly, like you have to lift the control stick up a little bit, and a good way to get past them without using, you can actually hold up the whole stick and move like you normally would, but if you aim even with a gun, even if you have no ammo, just aim with a gun and just walk. And
What happened in there?
it actually considers it as
Here, come up on the gate.
stealthing by the clickers, and it's pretty cool how they, well, I don't know if they intentionally meant to put that there. They probably did, but you know, for anybody who doesn't know that you can do that, there you go. Just a little tip for you, a little tidbit of information. So we go ahead and plug up the generator now. We're going to go into, I think actually we're getting pretty close to getting into the lab section. I can see it right there on my video. Because there's a cutscene that comes up pretty late. Well, actually, wait. No, that's way later on. Okay, never mind. There's like one cutscene, I think, in this whole entire chapter. And I think it's just that one part where we get shot by the sniper in the window. And it like breaks the window. And then after that, you know, Joel takes some damage. And we have to like walk our way out of there. I could have honestly fast forward that part too, but I decided not to. I decided to just leave it in.
No.
Some of the stuff,
Why would they have infected?
it's not really that I'm lazy. It's just more of like, I just don't feel like I should just do it, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just not convenient enough to fast forward through everything. Because that doesn't really help anybody out, you know? That doesn't really entertain anybody, per se. This is like a half and half thing, by the way. This is more of like both entertainment and just information at the same time. Because not all of this, not everybody needs help with this mode, exactly. So, for those who don't, this is going to be entertainment purposes. And for those who do, well, here you go. So there's a lot of these tents roaming around here. That first one had alcohol, so I went and picked that up. A lot of these have parts, and one of them has a pendant, so if you want to pick that up, you can. They're going for all the collectibles, which I'm not showing off, but I may or may not do like a video guide of like collectibles in games too, because this is called Hardcorean Guides. It's a guide channel for a lot of different things. It's not just, well, it specifically focused around hard mode, but at the same time, it's not like I can't do stuff like that.
I had Sarah when
I just choose not to because I just don't feel like editing so much crap just to get, you know, one video out. Which, you know, that's what I do top 10s and stuff for, because I just, if I'm feeling like editing, if I'm feeling like edit happy, I'll just do that. But yeah, these tents, they give a lot of parts. So make sure you explore at least every single one of them that you can, because there's not very many. There's like 5 or so. 4 or 5. And then after that, it's pretty much good. Again, if you want to explore, explore. For me, I just go to where I know stuff's at. Or where I at least think stuff is at. Sometimes I do explore, like you saw earlier in this video. It's like sometimes I do explore the area just to be on the safe side. But then it's like, who cares? I mean, like one little part's gonna... It's not really gonna hurt my feelings any. Of course... Okay, let me explain what's been going on today. So, I was gonna record early in the morning. And my upload was getting pretty done, you know, pretty close to being done, as you saw that I did get up and unprofessionally close it out. Well, anyway, and I was about to go record this, and almost as soon as I had the even instant of an idea to record this, which I already had the idea of recording this anyway. It's just more like I was like, okay, let's do this now, because they're gonna fuck something up, I'm sure. What do you know? Mowing. I'm like, god damn it. Because mowing actually picks up in my videos, and it pisses me off. Well, it doesn't really pick up that much. Depends on how close they are to like the windows and stuff like that. Then, at the same time...
Alright, we're inside.
Sorry about that. They're blending shit too. At the same time... They were vacuuming. At the same fucking time. I'm like, are you serious? Can I just not record ever? Apparently. Because I only have every other Sunday off. And they clean every other fucking Sunday. Guess what Sunday they clean on? Yeah, exactly. Take a wild guess. Well, anyway, that's just me bitching about a lot of stuff. I'm sorry. This is, I like to call this the lab part of it, or you can say it's basically like a biology class, I guess, or just like a school. I don't know what the hell this is. It's just, I call it the lab. I don't care. We're going to pick up some more parts. This place is pretty... It's mostly like a breather area because there's a lot of supplies. There's not a lot of you know, there's no infected to deal with here. You have an upgrade bench you can work on, getting your upgrades going and stuff like that. So I got a few upgrades. I'm starting to upgrade my flamethrower because I just got it, so, you know, hey. The thing about the assault rifle is they made it to where you get it at the last part of the game to where you can't upgrade it. And right here, I'm going to start hitting again because I'm trigger happy. Just for some reason, I just wanted to hit square again. It's weird. I have a tick, apparently. Like, if I hit a button, I have to hit the other button. Or hit the button again in an odd sequence. It's such a weird, cryptic ass, tick, but it's there. So I opened up that door because I thought that was going to be the ship door for a second. There is a ship door. It's at the very end of this hall, so don't forget that door. Remember, there's a total of 13 doors you have to get. I'm going to be getting them all. Or at least trying, so that's technically one trophy you guys can get. About said achievement, but I'm thinking like, wait, no, it's just trophy because, well, one, I'm playing on PlayStation, and two, it's only on PlayStation, so. You know what's funny is, like, I have, all my friends, except my best friend, have well, my best friend has an Xbox, but he also has a PlayStation. And as far as I'm concerned, well, he's more Nintendo, but at the same time, he plays a lot of PlayStation with me, you know, and I just have a PlayStation and a Wii U, which I sometimes go back and forth with, depends on the day. I have a 3D, you know, I have a lot of different consoles and stuff like that, a lot of Nintendo and PlayStation stuff. I've never owned an Xbox once in my life. I've played on Xbox. I don't hate Xbox. It's just I have a lot of friends who have an Xbox, and for some reason they still hate PlayStation. It's like, get over yourselves. God damn. Because they were bitching about me. Like, you know, I said something on Facebook, and then, you know, a few of them were bitching about me for playing PlayStation games. I'm like, go fuck off, dude. Seriously. And then it was funny, like, one person was asking me, like, do you have an Xbox? I'm like, no, I you know, my friends do, but I don't really like them. And he's like, well, isn't that technically you're not friends? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's funny, like, I have friends, but I don't like them. Does that make any sense? No. So Ellie was busy back over there looking at something, and all of a sudden, I went and did this cutscene, and there she goes, poofing right there, so just a funny little... Not really a glitch. I'm trying to get it to where Ellie has to pop into that certain spot. So understand. I think when you walk up there, she walks up there anyway to make it look like she's gonna go to it. But if she's far away, you can go ahead and get the transition going in, and she'll actually pop into place, which is kind of funny to see. Which it's just funny to me. Like, I'm not IGN. I'm not one of those big-time reviewers where it's like, oh my god, one glitch, bad game. Not Call of Duty. You know, I'm not like that at all, of course. Now, if it's a game-breaking glitch, what I'll do is I'll just be like, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and shut off the game, restart my save, try to get rid of this glitch. But if it happens a lot, like, you know, enemies get stuck in walls or something like that, which BioShock, for instance... You know, it's like, I don't care, you know, it's funny. And I like that. Even in, like, a horror game, it's always funny to see when bugs pop up because it's just funny. It's like, you know, it's a serious game, but when something actually funny happens, it's surprisingly really hilarious. So there you go, fuck bottles. Which was actually technically a bad idea for me to do because we're going to be doing some sort of stealth. I'm doing that quote-unquote thing. We're going to do slight stealth. Basically, we're going to get attacked by hunters, but I'm going to use stealth on some of them, and then some of them I'm just going to beat the shit out of because I just want to get this over with. I just want to get out of here. I don't hate this chapter at all. This is a pretty cool chapter. It's just... It's actually kind of short. It's almost like Tommy's Dan, but a little bit longer because you have to spend more time not just looking around, but you actually have to fight things and stuff like that, whereas Tommy's Dan, you hardly ever fight, so... Oh, man. Oh, man. Now, I guess in question, will I ever get an Xbox? Probably. I mean, there's some games I want. You know, frickin' Rare Replay came out on Xbox One. At first, I thought... My friends said it was just going to be clips of games. I'm like, that's kind of fucking stupid. And then it's like $30 for 30 games, which is literally a huge deal. Like, that is just ridiculous. Conker's Bad Fur Day, all the banjos, a lot of different rare titles, and it's just so cool. Because I like Banjo and I like Conker's, but, you know, I don't like everything Rare made, but I like a well, not a majority, but just some of the stuff they made. So right here, there's going to be some more, just the monkeys are back. That, you know, and Ellie makes kind of a funny wisecrack, and I like it, what she says. Because, I don't know.
Well, maybe in all that
Yeah,
research-
there, yeah, that's her line right there. You can read. Oh, speaking of which, this has nothing to do with Last of Us, but when I was doing Uncharted, I finished it yesterday, and I was recording like my first 2 videos. And I'm like, maybe I can get this done today, and so I did. I got it done in like 20 parts, but on the very last video, Elgato was starting to mess up, and you people know I talk about Elgato probably a lot. I don't know if it's on this channel or the other, but I talk about Elgato quite a bit because it's the capture card that I use. Is it the best? No, but is it the worst? Of course not. I've heard lots of good things about AverMedia though, and you know, maybe I might just get one of those sometime. I need to get a better
Who are
mic.
these guys?
That's what I need.
Don't matter.
I talked about this in my Uncharted video where my friend had like he's got this snowball where, you know, all this static and my computer fan will like hardly pick up on his mic, but on my mic, no, of course, everything picks up. So right there, I took that guy out with a machete. He will drop an axe. Usually it's an axe or a plank. Sometimes you get like both, like this guy. I think majority of the time I got both an axe guy and a plank. So I picked up the wooden plank because it's just gonna kill one person. Well, with all 4 hits, actually you can kill 4 people with it. It's just you have to have a bottle to do it. When I was talking about that kill ratio thing with it, I was talking about like a full-sized just beating him down. Not exactly just using bottles and, you know, stuff to your advantage. So I missed that guy, and I messed all that stuff up. What was I talking about a second ago? I had a thought in my mind. What was it about? Well, oh yeah, Uncharted. Well, anyway, the video capture was starting to mess up, and it was starting to go unlive, as they call it, which is just, there's like this button called live, and basically it's like no frame drops, stuff like that. Well, it's not live footage on my computer, but it picks up on my computer well enough, like this, where everything's just fine, everything's in sync. So the sound started to desync, and people are going to obviously notice that, probably bug me about it, but who cares. And so I had to go and get all the cutscenes from that chapter, and then re-edit, like edit out all the cutscenes of my video footage and put them in with those cutscenes, and do it all over again. And then I didn't have this up. I downloaded the video instead, so I could have. Well, actually, after I got done downloading the cutscene video, I realized to myself, like, I can just go in the game and just record the cutscenes that way. But I didn't do it, so they don't have subtitles for that one section. But, like, for the in-game part, they have subtitles, but not the cutscenes. It's kind of funny. So, yeah, like I said, I just use stealth, and of course, you got a few guys coming up, and that guy dropped an axe, thankfully. And so this guy, I ran in this room, and he got me, so I just picked his shit, you know, pick his ass down. It's kind of funny how, like, Joel, somewhere he says, "Run, Ellie." And I think it might have been right about on that part, though. So I break off the wood and I kick him in the head. Usually when you break your weapon, they usually stun them to where you can just beat them down from then on. It's really nice. So I'm going to heal up a little bit. I was actually being kind of stubborn with my health because I was thinking maybe there was a health pack, because I could have sworn there was. And thankfully I ran back this way because I would have forgotten those parts. And so I ran all the way back to go ahead and pick up the axe. That way I just have it, just in case. You know, right here I decided just to use my gun instead of using the axe on that guy, because I just want to kind of save up my axe for those just in case moments. Well, mainly just to kill off the guys downstairs, though. Not really, you know, not always just in case, but just, well, just there. I wanted to to save it up for a little bit longer than just being in this one section. But then I actually forgot that there was an axe lying around here too, which it did show up right when I probably didn't see it. That's probably what it was. I probably didn't see it show up. I probably thought it was like a pipe or something, and I just ignored it. And I'm like, I gotta get the axe in the other room. Or maybe it's one of those OCD things where it's like, I just want to get the one I dropped first instead of the one I dropped just now. So I did throw a bottle at him. This guy didn't actually... I have some iframes for some strange reason. It might be because of an axe kill. I have no idea. I don't know I don't know all the iframes of this game, but I can surely tell you right now it's not Devil May Cry iframes. That's for sure. You can't just keep rolling away and then getting iframes that way. No, that doesn't work. So right here, it's just another quick time event, another QTE bullshit thing like that. You just have to keep mashing square until your thumbs break off. But at least it's not like Metal Gear Solid where there's a part where you're being tortured and you just have to mash, I think, square or something like that. And you can do it from what I've seen, but your thumbs will probably get arthritis by the time you get done even trying to beat that stuff. And subjectively, this is my opinion, of course. I don't like QTEs very much. Actually, I don't hate them. You know, I kind of like them in games sometimes, but I just wish they would stop throwing out so many in one game. You know, and God of War is definitely the one that said, okay, time for QTEs all the time. Which, I think like God of War 2 was mostly the one that kind of did that the most. Or maybe God of War... the later God of Wars, sure as hell, started doing quick time events more. And Ascension's definitely the bane of that. You could say like it's super annoying, yeah, and I like to say like it's annoying sometimes too, but you know, it just kind of breaks away from a lot of stuff. And it does bring out some theatrics, so it's kind of nice to have quick time events, but I just hate having them in like every freaking section. It's just like, god damn. Especially the mashing of the square button. And when Last of Us is definitely one to do this, where if you don't mash it the way they want you to mash the button, it won't work. You'll screw up. Whereas in what's that game?
Those were my friends.
Maybe I don't know. I think of either Rising or maybe God of War. But if you press like circle instead of square, no wait, that sounds like Spider-House. I think that's Spider-House I'm thinking of. Well, whatever it was, whenever you press the opposite button, it just says, okay, well, who cares? You pressed a button, here you go. I don't know, I don't really see a need for it besides theatrics, but that's about it. And mashing buttons is just a pain in the ass. Now, like, for Last of Us, I can stand it when I have to open doors. You know, you mash open doors, because you actually kind of feel like you're putting in that extra effort to, you know, he's putting effort to open the door, and you're putting an extra effort to mash the button to open the door. So, that's the kind of quick time events I can get by. You know, but other than that, no. In a game like freaking Resident Evil 4, hell no.
Yes.
That stupid tap A while you run away from that boulder thing and then A and B out of nowhere, or just they switch it up every time. That's crap. That is crap. I think the game I'm thinking about where you press square or circle, I can't think of it. It might be Dante's Inferno. I don't know. I'm so confused. I know it's not Sonic Unleashed. I can tell you that right now. Oh my god, that has... Why? Why do you need quick time events in that game? Of all games. I'm talking about the hack and slash part. No, I will probably not do that on this channel. I know, it's a half hack and slash game. But it's still a Sonic game nonetheless, and I already have Sonic Generations project I'm working on anyway, so... That's not really something I want to put effort into doing. For this channel. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it has a hard mode, really. Oh, goodness. So, we're almost out of this. Again, another really simply easy chapter. I didn't really have to tell you guys anything besides just use stealth on the lab part. I'm basically here just to kind of drone out the effect of a boring-ass video and just kind of, lead you guys to hopefully your trophy of getting Survivor mode done, and you also have to do Survivor Plus. Which, by the time you get to Survivor Plus, you should have everything. So you should, well, not everything, but you should have a lot of supplies, and you should have a lot of upgrades by then. So yeah, we're almost done with getting out of this chapter, so I'm just going to go ahead and end off this episode here. And I will see you guys in Chapter 9, which I have completely forgotten what it was called, but it's the winter chapter. That's where we start winter. We get to play as Ellie for a little bit, so we lose all our upgrades, but we get to play as Ellie and use stealth, so that's definitely gonna be some kind of joy right there. So anyway, folks, without further ado, take care, everybody.